back to Chilled Banters. Here in the studio, we've been discussing rape, the reasons for rape, and ways that rape can be curbed in our society. And we've had on the show Mrs Adegboye, who has been answering our questions. She's still here with us, and we still have more questions to ask her.
We've been talking about these rape issues since, but how do we curb these menace? Okay, there have been advocates online, but how do we reach people offline? How do we go to the grassroots? Because most of these people, I'm sure they are not even online. How do we get to them, aside these hashtags and all of that online?
Okay, thank you. How to get to people at the grassroots and offline is by going through this medium, very simple medium, radio. Radio, I believe in Nigeria, many people have access to radio, very cheap ones. Farmers listen to them, people in villages and wherever, very interior, distant places, interiors, they listen to radio. Even you see all these axemen, northerners rearing cows, you see them carrying radio. You see people, farmers, laborers, people have access to radio. Radio does not need electricity. Some radios use battery and they sell battery. So that is one avenue I would suggest. And what do you do on radio? By creating awareness, sensitization, like we are doing. We create content, let people be aware of the evil of rape and the consequences. What can happen when it happens. So how to get to people from everywhere offline at the grassroots, to me, is creating awareness and sensitization through the radio. So apart from that one, I think you still ask about how to, what is the other? To curb it. I believe how to curb it, like I mentioned before, is by actually getting the perpetrators arrested, taking them by the law enforcement agents, taking them through prosecution. Because I believe from my experience as a member of FIDA and a former chairperson, from victims we've spoken with and some others, some of these people some of these cases don't go beyond the police stations. They get settled, they sometimes intimidate the family, some they even threaten them, and some they offer them monetary compensation if they are from very poor homes. Then some, because of the fear of stigmatization and victimization for the future of their daughters, I still believe this is attributable to not being exposed. Because if you are educated and exposed, you don't mind. Whoever rapes or attacks, harasses your girl child deserves to be punished. And that does not make that which will encourage the girl child not to feel that they are responsible. They should not feel guilty. We should not slut shame victims by asking, what did you wear? Where did you go? How did you follow a man? You reserve the right to say no. Because the main ingredient of rape is consent. And when a girl, a woman, whoever says, no, I do not want, that should be the end of that encounter. If there is no consent, whoever you are, then there is rape. So by taking the perpetrators, like you have the situations of a 25-year-old raping a 70-year-old woman, we heard it last week, or some people rape children, babies of 6 months, of 1 year. What do you say to those ones? You allow them, you ensure that they go and face the legal system, the full wrath of the law, and then appeal to law enforcement agents not to allow perpetrators to go away from prison or release them from prison or grant them bail. They should bring them to court and appeal to our judges to please impose and mete out the prescribed penalty for rape whenever they find suspects or defendants finally guilty. When they are found guilty, our courts should mete out the prescribed penalty, not lower sentences. In a station where we read about cases where rapists are given 2 years, 5 years, 7 years penalty after conviction is a no-no. The minimum prescription for rape, minimum in situations, is 14 years. The rest, rape carries life imprisonment, attempt carry 14. Those are the years our courts must impose. When they do this, it will act as deterrent to will-be rapists.
All right, so finally,
Our viewers would like to know who are the right people victims should speak up to. Because a lot of people have the assumption that they should go to the police station first, they should go to the hospital first or something. Who are the right people that victims should actually speak up to?
If they are young, because some of the victims are young, they are minors. Some parents don't have good relationships with their children. So they get scared. Some can't talk to their mothers. And when some mothers they hear, they shut down the victim. They won't allow them to say it. They tell them they are possessed, they are evil. We are going to, I'm encouraging parents, please get closer to your children. Let your children be able to speak with you first. And if the victim is not a minor, it's an adult, should go to the police station first. Because whenever you make a report at the police station, they are bound, they are under the obligation to refer the victim to a medical facility. Okay. And the police will know the facility that will be acceptable in the law court. You can't go to, it's not, they can go to a private facility or any medical center. But sometimes most police stations in states have medical hospitals that are attached to the police station or that are acceptable in the court where their medical reports are unimpeachable. Nobody can doubt it. So the police will be able to say, go to this particular medical center. Medical report is very important in the prosecution of rape. So they will be able to get the initial evidence and exhibits to be able to catch whoever, to be able to prove the case of rape.
Wow.
What happens when the police station, as you mentioned earlier, is trying to cover up the crime?
And even when the parents is even the rapist, yes. And you know some fathers rape their children.
Yes, the victim actually wants to talk to someone.
I appeal to victims in a station that has been described, where the parents are not encouraging the police station. We have a number of NGOs that are helping victims. I am confident to mention my association, FIDA, International Federation of Women Lawyers. Call on them. The office is at Iyagonku, opposite the old NCC building. You call any member, any female lawyer, tell them what has happened. They are going to go to the rescue of any victim and make sure they follow to a logical conclusion. Even in a session where the victim has gone to the police station and the police are not acting they are not acting well, they are not doing what they are supposed to do, they can still come to FIDA. In a session even where the matter is already at the police station or even at the court, whatever, they want support, legal support, moral, whatever, let them come to FIDA. They will get the necessary support from that. And there are so many other NGOs that can help.
Thank you very much. And we really appreciate your responses to our questions. We hope to have you on our show sometime again in future. All right, thank you for coming to Chilled Banters.
Thank you for having me.
All right, viewers, we've come to the end of Chilled Banters today. I hope you enjoyed the episode and I hope you learned a few things. I want us to know that rape is not the victim's fault. It is the fault of the rapist, and nobody is supposed to rape anybody. And we should train our children to know that it is not good to rape. Yeah. Not like we tell them you should be careful, these are the things you should do to avoid rape. Why not teach them not to rape?
Consent is really important, and no means no.
Yes, definitely. So we'll be back again next week. Do not forget to like and subscribe to Tribune Online TV for more youth-friendly topics. All right, guys. See you next week. Bye.